This is the Decade of Dominance All Request Show.
Oh, can you believe this?
Call in to request your favorite moment over the last 10 years of satellite radio glory.
I've never seen anything like this.
1-866-385-4631.
Bob Kelly in studio, and the great Michael Madsen.
Yeah.
Who just told us that he hasn't been in New York in 5 years. And he's thanking us right off the bat because he got a free trip to New York because of our radio show.
Yeah,
That's a pretty good deal as far as I'm concerned. It's kind of cold outside, but, it beats the hell out of L.A.
Yeah, you've been in L.A. for how long?
When I have to be there back and forth for about 14, 15 years now. Yeah.
Oh, shit. But you've been traveling, you were saying.
I've been all over the world. I've been Ireland and Bulgaria, Moscow.
What the hell is it to do in Bulgaria?
I don't know where Bulgaria
It's called
is.
employment, son. I have to go where I need to go. I'm more popular in foreign countries than I am in my own, so...
Is that the truth? Come on.
It seems that way. It's a little rough getting work nowadays.
Why the fuck is that?
A lot of competition in Hollywood,
Michael Madsen, for fuck's sake.
The guy with the towel and always does a scene with a towel on. I'm up against him, and the other one, the Scientologist, and the rest of them. Good Lord, make some room for Daddy, but they're not very gracious about that. Believe me.
No?
No.
I mean,
They drive past me in the street with my legs amputated to get to a meeting with Bruce Willis.
Oh, get it all out, Michael. Come on, let's get it out. Let's get it out.
Then I meet Bruce on Sin City, and he starts telling me about all these projects we're going to do together.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that sounds pretty good, Bruce. Yeah, thanks for looking after me. Meanwhile, a couple years later,
You're going to Bulgaria.
I see him at Astronaut Farmer premiere. I'm like, hey, man, remember all those projects you told me about? He's like, what? What projects? Yeah,
what about the last Die Hard? You could have been in that one.
Oh, wouldn't that have been wonderful? That would have really given my career a boost. I would have been the guy that he threw out the window or something.
Jesus
All right,
Christ.
Mike, in this scene, you light a cigarette, you fire a gun, then Bruce kicks you down a flight of stairs. No thanks, fellas. I'd rather pump gas.
Wow.
God, this is...
By the way, we're all huge fans of what you have done.
Hell yeah.
And I just didn't expect this angle, and I'm loving it. Fucking
No, it's not an angle.
loving it.
It's not an angle.
I understand.
It's the business end of the business blows. It just blows.
If people
blows-
really knew what goes on behind the
Oh, dude.
closed doors.
Not to try to relate to a great actor like yourself, but I mean, just doing radio, the bullshit we have to deal with, you're like, yeah, fuck you.
You think it's all fun and games, and then
Right.
behind the scenes, everything sucks, and management, they're assholes and everything, and it's got to
like
be the same way in movies.
They ruin it, as far as where we sit, the greatest job you could have. It's like, how do you
hanging
ruin
around
the greatest job you could have?
Goofing on shit.
I was
Right.
listening to you guys in the other room, and I went, which one of you got to take a shit?
I do. Yeah.
I just thought that was amazing. I never heard of a radio show like that. What the other word is fuck this and fuck that motherfucker. I gotta take a shit. Holy shit.
And you're sitting there like,
What the fuck?
and this is why I'm sitting on these bleachers waiting to get in there so they can talk about the shit they have to take.
You gotta
Great.
take a shit.
Yeah, it's,
Another way.
we like to call it an open and honest show.
Yeah.
I took a good shit before I left the hotel.
Did you?
Yeah.
Nice. It does make you
fantastic.
feel good.
It did. It's like the great way to wake up in the morning. Oh, God, yeah.
So I think I'm reading you.
I'm ready for the day.
I'm hearing.
I'm ready to load up again.
I'm getting the feeling that you.
This is so not what I expect. No shit, man. We just got done with Ben from Lost. Very actory, very formal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is
sure, yeah.
great.
Sure, yeah.
Another exciting show. What will happen next? Someone will get lost. Oh, God in heaven. I'm going to bring a camera crew over to my fucking house. They want to make a reality show, I can tell you. But more
shit.
than that shit.
Michael's been, I could kind of sense.
Don't even ask
Michael's
him.
been through the mill
Yeah.
as far as Hollywood goes. And a lot of people hide this stuff, but they're a bunch of assholes over there. I mean, it's just the way it is.
Oh, there's a lot of them that are nice, and I've had some great times. I've made some good pictures. I've been very lucky.
hell yeah.
But 85% of it is horse shit.
Yeah. Yeah, there's
It's too hard to. It's. I get more work on my own than I do by playing the normal game of getting work.
Really?
I run into people at a party somewhere and get a script or meet somebody that wants to do something, and
You just scare the shit out of them. They're like, all right, I'll put you in a movie. Jesus.
well, they hesitate to get
stare
on
at
the
me like you
elevator
do.
with me, but
Does it amaze you sometimes when you look at the top grossing movie of the week and go like, what the fuck is this country thinking?
yeah, I kind of get that feeling, especially with some of the pictures that are nominated right now. It's very bewildering to me.
Like what? Which one? In
Well,
particular?
you see, the thing is if I start naming certain titles, those people will never hire me again. Not that they would anyway, but I am a bit mystified by some of the things that seem to be that get an enormous amount of attention in box office. It's amazing to me.
Yeah, I don't know where, because I'll look at a trailer on TV or in the movie theater and say, there is no way I'll ever see this movie. I have no interest in seeing it. And then it's, number one, number two, and you go, who the fuck
you don't
who saw this?
You don't like Fool's Gold?
What? What? Is that a movie?
We're just a bunch of lemmings out there because Fool's Gold is getting the worst ratings, like as reviews, whatever. And it was number one at the box office. I'm like, does anyone read?
No.
Is there a scene in there where he wears a towel? There's got to be one, right, with the big knot in the front.
And his hair's wet.
Oh yeah, exactly.
I mean,
I did a picture in Ireland. I played a Irish American prize fighter in a picture called Strength and Honor. And it's the first time I produced a picture, and I tried to get involved in the distribution and all that. And I learned a lot of lessons about the way that stuff goes. And believe me, there's a lot of big money changing hands for promotional campaigns and this kind of thing. And, the picture really got overlooked, and I'm trying to get some guys to re-release it. But I think I'm up against a stacked deck. I mean, it's really hard to make room. They don't make room for anybody, It's a very dog-eat-dog thing.
yeah, they got the thing figured out the way they want it to make the most, and they don't want anybody changing the rules on them.
Well, as soon as I get in there, I'll be telling them that they're all the greatest guys in the world. I was wrong.
Go fuck.
No, I was just kidding when I was on the radio.
Holy shit.
I've been nominated.
He's
Oh
living
my
our
God!
life.
No.
Jesus.
I didn't mean what I
Get
said
me a
about
towel.
Get Michael a
I'll do
towel.
a scene
for
with a
God's sake.
towel.
I'm scared to ask him questions about movies he's been in now.
I'm very lucky, and I've been very fortunate.
Actually, someone
I'm in a great
movies.
industry. I really
Yeah.
am. I'm just kidding around with you.
Someone
guys.
threw you in IMDb, and they're saying unfucking believable. You made 18 movies for 2008 alone.
Well, I got 6 boys to take care of, and I need to keep a lot of groceries in the fridge.
You have 6 kids?
Yeah, boys.
Wow.
My house is like Lord of the Flies.
I actually
They
saw.
have like theme days. Like one day they'll all dress up as cowboys and Indians. They're running through the house, spearing each other and shooting arrows at me. And, it's amazing. I got a striped shirt with a whistle. That's basically my wardrobe when I'm at home. Yeah, no, it's insane. The Army Day, they're all camouflage, they're in camis, they're out in the bushes, shooting paintballs at each other. It's insane. I mean, I don't know how my wife, she's amazing. She deals with it. They tied her up one time. tied her to a tree outside. She was like, my God, help me. I couldn't believe it. I mean, I always wish I had brothers growing up, and now I got all these sons, and it's just like amazing the way they are with each other. I realized I didn't miss fuck all,
I gotta ask the obvious. Have you ever done stand-up, Michael?
Huh?
Have you ever done stand-up?
No. Nobody ever asked me that.
If he did stand up though, and if a heckler ever messed with him, that'd be
If I did stand up, I always thought that I would want to do this thing where one time I was in my trailer and I was making a movie. I was in Poland. And I was so fucking bored. I was going out of my mind, right? I had a shit in a bucket. Right? That's how low budget it was. And I was just sitting there thinking, my God, is this what it is? I was being eaten alive by all these Polish insects, and it was like 4 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, oh my God, I wish I was a lumberjack. This is so fucked up, I just don't want to be in this business. Why am I here? And I started thinking, for some strange reason, about a hotel that could open up, and they could call themselves the Kevorkian Suites. And so you would check in, and they would have all these different themes in different rooms where you could go to kill yourself.
To die.
Yeah.
To kill yourself.
Yeah. And so I was thinking, oh man, I'm really onto something here. So I started writing it down, and I started thinking, okay, all right. In one suite, they call it the Robin Givens Suite. And when you go in, there's like a piece of glass, and on the counter in front of you is a gun. And she's behind the glass, and she's going on and on about her relationship with Mike Tyson. And she just keeps going on and on and on and on about it. And she won't stop, and you can't leave the room until finally, you either shoot yourself in the head or keep on listening to her. And I thought of another one would be like, you go in, and when you go in, they inject you and put you to sleep. And then there's a big metal sliding door on the other side of the room. And when you wake up, the door comes open, and there's a big gorilla standing there. And then you suddenly realize you have bananas around your neck. on a chain, right? And you're like, oh, Jesus Christ, oh my God, fucking hell. And you grab hold of them because you want to give them to the ape, but you realize they're made out of plastic. And he's just coming at you, And he's going to rip you apart.
Do you smoke a lot of weed?
That's hysterical.
No,
you just gotta you think about certain things like that. Why
That's
not?
what you think about in Poland when you have to shit in a
Shit in
bucket.
a bucket and Polish bugs are eating you.
And you're waiting to go on the set to play some bananas.
Well, and used to shit in a spackle bucket. So
Well, I was
you
in
got something in common.
construction.
Yeah, we got a little
you have
something
to
in
do
common
that.
there,
You
right?
have to do that.
Anyway, that's it for my stand-up career.
Damn. Well,
I just did
that
it.
would go over.
That's it. Yeah.
I'm not going to ask you about the greatest scene in Reservoir Dogs now. I don't want to know the sarcastic answer to that.
Oh, actually,
That's probably what you're asked the most anyway, right? You're probably sick of talking about that scene.
no, not really. I mean, I'm lucky to have anything that anybody wants to talk to me about. I could be, digging ditches somewhere. But
How was it working with Quentin? We had him on the show, and we were just amazed by the guy.
He's a nut.
if I cured cancer, and I was at a news conference, and they were asking me about my findings, most likely someone would stand up and say, that's great about the cancer thing, Michael, but what's it like working with Quentin?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Just let him talk.
He's a great guy. He's a genius. And
Wow, he can talk, though, huh?
Yeah, he can go on, but at least it's interesting.
Yeah.
And he's kind of a film historian, the guy. I mean, he's got about 335 millimeter prints of movies in his garage, and
It does those film nights, those themed film nights and
he's got
stuff.
a
And,
regular theater in his house
Yeah.
with the curtains and a popcorn machine and the whole fucking thing.
after our interview with him, we felt like we were going to be invited over to movie night.
Oh, did you?
And you know how you told that story
you
about
might have
Bruce, and he's like, yeah, next time you're in LA, give me a call. But the problem was he never really
never gave us
wanted
a
to exchange
contact number.
numbers or anything.
You know.
No, he's hard to nail down. I mean, when I did Kill Bill, it was only because I drove it to his house and I knew the gate code. And I just went and I sat by the pool and I waited for him to get home. I sat there for like 2 hours, and finally he showed up. And I'm like, Quentin, what the fuck is going on? Said, I need a job, man. What are you doing? And then he whipped out the Kill Bill script, and
Fuck. Which is
I was
which
playing
just gets
blood, but Jesus, if I'd have waited for him to call me, I mean, it never would have happened.
It never would have worked.
Kill Bill
No,
gets just
man.
better and better the more you watch it too. It's just one of those movies you never get sick of.
Yeah,
It
I
was
think a lot of
it was
Oh my God.
great time, man. It was a wonderful experience. It was really one of those pictures that stands out in your mind,
Quentin's got a good way of pulling people out of relative obscurity. Like then came Bronson. You know, and
Michael Parks, yeah.
Michael Parks is hysterical.
Hey,
Wasn't he wonderful? He
Who the
was
hell
great.
knew?
Now it's obvious to ask Michael about some of the great roles he's been in. What was the biggest piece of shit you were involved with? I think this is the way to go with this interview, I'm thinking.
This show.
Oh, damn. Holy shit, we got a new promo. Yeah. Put that in the fucking intro to the radio show.
Oh, shit.
All right, now that I'm completely uncomfortable.
That's great. Oh, fuck that. That's fantastic.
And I also took notice, fuck, if we're letting it all out.
Yeah.
He comes in, I go, hi, I'm Opie, and he gave me a look like, what a stupid name.
I was just trying to figure out if you were the one that had to take a shit.
I saw it in his eyes. I'm like, I know. I've been stuck with this dumb name since I was 12. Will you give me a break?
You didn't change it, man.
All in his eyes. He didn't even have to say anything. I just saw it in his
Change it,
eyes.
man.
Like,
Change the name, man.
I would love to. We're just known for.
How many ridiculous fucking radio shows do you have to do?
fuck.
You know?
I
Just-
met Ron Howard once, and I called him
Slappy and
Opie,
Wappy.
and he never hired me. I thought it was going to be funny, and I was like, "Hey, Opie." I thought he would take it in the right way, but he
Yeah.
He doesn't really know how
appreciate
to. He doesn't know how to take a joke.
No,
That's
he
his
didn't
problem.
Probably
appreciate it.
says something like, if I cured cancer, people would go.
You won't see me in any Ron Howard films. Put it that way. That's how quick it can end for you.
Hey, what about this movie? Do you want to talk about the new movie? I don't even know. Boarding Gate?
Listen, I shot that picture in Paris. I played a stockbroker with a girlfriend who's a dominatrix.
I saw
Moans and groans.
I saw half of it. Roland gave me the movie and I watched it last night, but halfway through the fucking DVD gave me had a scratch.
What?
But it was right. The movie.
Where did it end in the scratch?
Right when you were about to get before she pulled the gun out, you were about to get killed.
Oh,
And that's-
So he gets killed in the
Dude,
movie.
but it was
Thanks,
this.
Bob.
This
thanks for giving that away.
Yeah, good one, Bobby. you
wonderful.
But I don't know. I don't know if he got killed. That's what I'm
okay.
saying. I didn't see it. She pulled the gun out. Honest to God, it pulled the gun out, and but the sex before that, there was this big lead up. So they were doing all this kinky shit, dude. I don't know.
Oh,
She
yeah?
pulled the gun out. There was handcuffs. He had a belt around his neck. It was one, and I was watching it with my wife. And it's so sexy.
Valentine's Day movie.
Dude, but I didn't know. It's so the sex in this is so dirty and
Oh, yeah?
sexy, but it's that it's beyond what sexy in a movie is. It's one point where she's got a belt. This girl's hot too. She's dirty hot. And
Yeah.
she's got tattoos everywhere. She's really sexy. I don't know. She German or something? No, she's
Italian.
Is she Italian? Oh, I think she got that accent. The
the love.
Oh, I don't know, but he
Dummy.
grabs her and he's done. His rage. Can I just say something about your rage, dude? The way he is right now with that voice, he's very quiet. He's very cool, and then all of a sudden, it just comes, dude. It just comes, and then he goes right back to, wow. Sometimes you want a beer. Honest to God, dude, his rage is like that real fucking holy shit rage.
Yeah.
And you see it in this movie. He's just talking to her, and then she says something, and he goes, "I did it," and it just snaps. And then all of a sudden, they're outside. It's the scene. She gets in her. He rips her clothes off, and she
Nice.
rips a belt off, and he goes down in front of her. Oh, I don't know how you. She's reaching around and and her hands there's no faking this.
Dude, it's
her hand
fucking
was
Satellite.
It's
What did-
satellite. Where did he
Stop
put his
fucking
dick?
around.
His hand.
What are you fucking beating around the bush?
She just. I'm sorry. I'm getting nervous. He grabbed. She just reached in, unzipped his fly. It was open, and she's just stroking his mule. And he's in front of her, and just smelling her fucking pussy. but through the underwear, which is even sexier. He didn't even just rip him down. He's just.
Holy shit!
And you're looking to see if he starts kissing her thigh, but then he just says, "Fuck it." And I'm watching it with my wife, and in my head I'm going, "Now I'm gonna have to fuck her. Now I'm gonna have to fuck my
Apparently,
wife
is a good Valentine's
because
Day
of this
movie.
fucking movie.
It's a
I'm gonna have to
great
fuck her
Valentine's Day
tonight."
movie,
It's a
man.
Disney movie in Bulgaria, by the way.
It should have
This,
been released on Valentine's Day.
Fucking but this is the one that it fucks with you because all of a sudden they'll just stop. And she'll go, I don't love you anymore. And he's like, but he's like, I don't know what you gonna do. And they'll go into a room, and then we'll go back into dialogue, a lot of really good dialogue.
Yeah.
And then they just start fucking, like, just fucking smashing each other over the face. And
Bobby has given this movie a better plug than anyone
I
else
know, I
could.
don't even have to be here.
No, now I want to.
Fantastic.
Yeah, who doesn't want to?
You should go to work for
Bro,
the
where's my
distributor.
copy?
Man. What else you gonna do?
Oh, the scene in the front when you in your office is so fucking, it's so back and forth.
I never get to do a picture with a girl. I'm always beating somebody up or smoking a cigarette or shooting a gun. And I never get to do any love scenes, you know.
Love?
I never get to go.
I don't know if it's, I don't know
I'm
if
gonna ride off into the sunset with the girl, you know.
I don't know if it's
like,
love.
You
I'm
did
really
that-
happy when they
what
gave
was-
me the part. It was my chance to break my stereotype, you know.
Yeah.
You had a great love scene.
ruin my reputation.
What was the
He
love
got that
scene?
girl. He fucked her. Oh my god.
Dude, you had a
didn't
belt
kill
around your
anybody.
neck.
He didn't shoot anybody.
What's going on?
What was the love scene he had where he's fucking the dude's wife as he's in the
Oh, was that
that's,
fucking
You
hysterical?
get love scenes.
Getaway.
Yeah.
Getaway. Loved
Getaway.
Getaway.
Just shuts the door in his
That-
face. What are you looking at? That was one of the most despicable scenes. What are you looking at? You fucking.
Yeah, he's basically.
And she's all into it. He's just fucked.
He's a nerdy dude tied up in the bathroom as
man.
Michael's banging his wife. I love that scene, by the way.
But in his
Yeah, so did
business,
I.
And it was,
It was
such,
very fun,
it was such a good fuck that the guy he kills himself, right?
He hung himself.
Yeah.
He hanged himself in the bathroom.
That was one of those really hot but disturbing scenes because
What a way to go.
you're thinking of it, but then you're like, Jesus Christ, what if you're in that situation and you're not the fucking guy fucking the broad, you're the one chained to the toilet or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, and your old lady come in the next room.
Yeah, and she's
Get the
enjoying it.
oh,
You know, it's-
You haven't
it's
seen
a-
that scene, Bobby?
I've seen it, but
That's
it just
great.
that's one of those things where the verbal saying that out loud makes you go, ah.
Yeah, it's
And he's just the way he just said it.
Awful.
And she's coming.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
remake. It's a remake of a Sam Peckinpah picture.
Yeah, the Getaway, right?
But you know what he has in this movie too, which in a lot of movies he
we're
does.
back to Boarding Gate.
Certain actors like Robert Duvall does it, and there's certain actors that do this business, like stuff that's not in the. You know, it's in the script, and it's just him doing it. There was one part he was eating this food. And he makes the fucking, just him eating it, it's just so interesting. And then he has like an olive pit in his mouth, and he's delivering his line, he just goes, and spits it into the sink. It's like, you're just like, holy shit. Because when you're an actor, you get a script, you just read the lines, you do the things, he just went,
Oh,
Yeah.
sure. Look, that's the fun of it, you know. I think I try to get away with things like that as much as I possibly can. I mean, that's why, a guy like Quentin, even a guy like Olivia for Boarding Gate, I mean, they both gave me that gift of being able to be on the spot and in the moment and let something happen just because it happened, not because it's on the page. That's a lot better for me. It's a lot easier for me. It's a lot freer way to work. When I cut that ear off, I walked over to the side of the room and I was looking at it. And I was thinking in my head, what am I going to do with this fucking thing, right? I got this fucking ear in my hand. What am I going to do? And they're rolling, right? So I'm just holding it. I'm thinking, okay, what am I going to do? And Quentin's over on the side, and he's going, toss it. Throw the ear, Michael. Throw it away, Michael. Throw it. And I'm thinking to myself, no, I don't want to do it. I don't want to throw it yet, And so I spoke into it. I said, hey, can you hear me? And then I threw it.
Fucking twisted.
And so Quentin's like, I can't believe you did that. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? He goes, no. What are you doing? You're talking in the air. And then the next day, he goes, Michael, listen, we went to saw the dailies, and when you're talking in the ear, it's staying in the movie.
It's such
said,
a
oh,
yeah.
That's
awesome. It's such a because
I was just
only
kidding around,
only
I
a
didn't really-
fucking lunatic would do something like that, and the character's obviously out of his mind. Yeah. Hey, can you hear
I
me?
figured,
Yeah.
it was the thing to do. I mean, if you're gonna have it, it just made sense to me at the most.
we were
I
talking
can't
to Quentin.
dance, so I had to come up with something.
We were talking to Quentin about that movie and that scene in Reservoir Dogs, and one of the most, I don't know, the one with the most impact to me is when you walk outside of that funeral parlor and you hear the birds chirping, it's sunny,
playing.
kids are playing, and it's
Lawnmower,
such
I
a
think.
stark difference from the horror that is going on behind those doors. Like for a moment, you're out of it. And you're just outside. It's a beautiful
Just
day.
going to get the gas.
Yeah, going to get the gas to burn them with, but
That was my car, that yellow Cadillac. It's on eBay.
That really
right
your
now.
car?
I put it on eBay. It's up for sale right now.
Get the fuck out of here, really?
That was my car. I drove it to the set that day, and that's where I parked it. And I swear to God, when we were going to shoot the scene, they were going to go to budget and rent a car for Mr. Blonde for the thing where the cop's in the truck. And I said, why? Why don't we just use my car? It's right there. And Quinn says, that's a good idea. Let's just use your car. So when I walk out there and the caddy's there, I mean, that's because that's how I parked when I came to work that day.
Damn, that's on eBay, huh?
I've had the damn thing for
want?
about 15 years. And
How
I
much
put
you
it on
want
eBay.
for it?
What do you want for the instant?
I don't know. I think John Schneider got $4 million for the Dukes of Hazzard Charger. So.
You're looking for $4
I don't
million.
know. Anything's possible, right?
never know.
I mean, I won't have to go back to Bulgaria to go to work.
Fucking Bulgaria. What is going on? Why is Michael Madsen in Bulgaria doing a movie?
Well,
I-
Paramount hasn't called lately.
Well, you're going to be in Sin City too, right?
Well, if they ever get around to making it, I'm supposedly going to be in it. Robert Rodriguez told me if I did the first one and it did well, that he'd bring me back for the second one. So, with those guys, you just kind of have to wait until they're ready. I mean, there's no use calling him. If he wants you, he's going to ring you up. So, I hope I do. It was a great picture. I mean, it was a lot of fun doing that thing.
And the one thing talking about just reading lines off a page and then doing the things that make a great actor different from someone just reading lines. The facial expressions you can make, you don't have to say words, and that's a talent in itself. Like, you can make a look and just go, oh my God, this person is so fucked. This person is so fucked just from a
It
look.
comes from a nefarious childhood.
Is that it?
Yeah. Or sometimes it's just out of boredom.
Yeah, you didn't have any
After about the
professional
third
training or
fourth
anything?
take, man, you got to come up with something.
Nothing like that, just kind of...
I tried to. Early on, I went to Steppenwolf Theater in Chicago. I tried to take a scene study classes there for a bit, and I just kind of fell out of it. I'm a very impatient young man, and I just wanted to get on with it. And I figured if this is what I'm going to do, I'm going to do it. I don't want to be a career student. And, God bless anybody who's studying. I'm not trying to take anything away from them. It works for them, that's fine. But for me, I just didn't understand all the sense memory business, pretending that this fucking thing is boiling hot or, pretending that I'm blowing in the wind or something. It was really kind of, I didn't really need that whole thing. And I didn't figure I was going to end up playing Hamlet anyway. So,
You weren't a fan of the Meisner technique?
I just wanted to get on with it. So I really kind of sidestepped all that. And
How'd you break in? What was like your first... what was the first role you did where you went, wow, I think I'm doing this for a living now?
I went to, first I came to New York. I met Sergio Leone when I was here.
Wow.
And he told me I should pursue an acting career. And he had a film he wanted me to do, but then unfortunately he died. So I went to L.A. and I had $400. I got a job pumping gas at the Union 76 station in Beverly Hills. And, my first customer was Fred Astaire. I swear to God, it was on Christmas Eve, and Fred Astaire fucking pulls in with a flat tire on his car. And I'm like this kid from Chicago, and I'm like, holy shit, my fucking God in heaven, it's him, it's him. He gets out of the car, and he says, hey, and he, pops me off $100 bill. And I says, look, it's $12.50 for the flat, And he just walks off, and I'm like, holy Christ, And my boss comes over to me, and I says, Jesus Christ, is that him? And he goes, oh, yeah, get used to it, kid. Those guys come in here all the time. And they sure did, boy. I mean, I've seen everybody. I didn't realize I was right in the middle of Beverly Hills, and so over the next 9 or 10 months that I worked there, I've seen everybody come in there for gas at one time or another, and it was pretty amazing. And I finally met a girl, and she knew a guy, and so and so and so and so. And they knew an agent, and this and that, and this and that.
That's how it works.
And I went and I read for an episodic television show called St. Elsewhere. And when I went to the thing, I had to go to work, and I was figuring I was going to be late. So when I went to read for the part, I had my Union 76 outfit on because I was going to work, right? And so I went in and I read. It was the bad brother. I was like the bully brother of a family of bigots, and it was I was the hoodlum brother. And by the time I got to work, there was a message for me to call this agent, and I called him up and I said, "What's up?" And he said, "You got the job." And I said, "Wow." I was, I couldn't believe it. I was pretty stunned. And they said, "Yeah, the casting director said how brilliant it was that you came in dressed as a working class person."
Yeah.
And I said, "What do you think? I went to Western Costume and fucking bought that. And I was going to work, for God's sake."
You're on the phone. They're hearing the ding ding of the cars driving over the fucking hose.
It worked, though, I guess. And that was the first thing I ever did. It was Denzel Washington was in it, and David Morris. It was a TV series about a hospital thing, and I don't know. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I had a cool jacket. I remember that. They gave me this brown leather jacket. It was kind of cool.
But then you never
I
looked
just
back.
let the jacket act for me.
Yeah, let the jacket do the work.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I got this bitchin' jacket. So don't fuck with me. All right? Hey, look at my jacket. Yeah.
That's great, though, and you kind of, you so vividly remember when you got out of your shit fucking real job.
Listen, I started getting a couple things after that. I got like Miami Vice and Tour of Duty and a couple of other little Jake and the Fat Man. A couple of. Remember, I went to to Ray, who was running the place, and I said, "Look, Ray, I'm not going to be here tomorrow because I come in." He goes, "I suppose you're going to go do another one of those television shows." And I go, "Well, yeah. As a matter of fact, I am." And he goes, "Listen, kid. You better make up your mind what you're going to do." He goes, "When you signed up here, you didn't tell anybody you were an actor." And I said, "Well, I didn't really consider myself one at that time." And he goes, "Oh, getting intellectual on me now." And I said, "No." I said, "No, man, I got to go do this thing." And he goes, "Listen, we need you around here, okay? So you better make up your fucking mind, kid." And I'm like, "Oh, well, should I make $2.50 an hour and having you yelling at my face, and having people honking at me, and having Warren Beatty ask me if I should check his oil, or should I go and,
and try to be Warren Beatty?
Try to, yeah. I said, "Well, geez, that's going to be a hard decision, Ray." I said,
Let me think about it.
I need to think about this. Yeah, I'll let you know on Monday. I'll give you a call.
Yeah, that's
He actually said
something. Yeah.
that to me. You better make up your mind.
All right, it's
When you
Damn
really
it, I'm gonna stay here, Ray.
Michael,
I need to help these people. Fuck Hollywood. Fuck the movies, man. Fuck it. Jack Lemmon needs me. He needs a Val job. God damn it.
when you finally made it, did you ever go back to Ray's place to kind of maybe go, "Hey, Ray,
pull in for
what's
some
up?"
gas?
Right.
You're pulling for some gas. See who the new kid is.
With a fake flat tire or something.
I've rolled in there a couple of times, and it's kind of a funny feeling.
Right on.
Yeah.
It's like a whole nother life. 1,000 years ago.
I think I backed into one of the pumps one night in a limo. Yeah, knocked the damn thing off the pedestal.
Sorry, Ray, and just
Sorry,
pull
Ray.
away. Yeah,
There goes that son of a bitch.
I get back.
I remember him. Stupid kid. We needed him. Motherfucker.
You always have the intimidating guy roles or anything. Growing up, were you like that? Were you kind of a troublemaker? Were you kind of just a nice guy with a low, intimidating voice?
My parents divorced when I was young, and we moved around an awful lot. My father was a Chicago firefighter, and we just were constantly on the move, so I was always like the new kid,
Yeah.
Whenever you're the new guy, you tend to, hook up with the wrong crowd.
Yeah.
And a lot of my pals were kind of dangerous, and I learned my lesson early on about those kinds of things.
Yeah. Did you must have taken something away from them and brought it into your acting.
I don't know how I made it because most of them are dead. So,
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a couple of those. I was, parents divorced and then moving around a lot, and the same thing. You fall in with some real fun people. When
Because they're always looking for new recruits.
They're looking for new recruits, so you get in. Yeah, you're the new
get in easy.
They were exciting. It was the only thing going on,
Yeah.
I was like, sure, let's go rip off a car. Yeah. Sounds good to me. Fuck it.
breaking into houses and stealing horrible turntables.
Sure. Oh God, I stole a turntable of a church one time.
Jesus.
I did. I swear to God, I went to this youth group You know, they had a youth lounge, you know. And they had a really bitchin' stereo in there. And so, you know, like a couple nights later, I went over there and I took the damn thing and I put it outside in the bushes underneath the
Yeah,
front.
you had to stash it first.
Yeah, I stash, exactly. Right? Yeah, you know how it goes.
Yep.
How do you know? See, you're just
I used
like
to
me.
do that.
You know, you
Yeah.
understand the mentality.
Same
And I
stuff.
went back and got it, you know, and I put it in my room and, you know.
You have to let the heat blow over and see if like anyone was onto it where and found it where you stashed it or something like that.
Scratch it up a little, you know.
Yeah.
I found it.
Yeah.
I found it. Look at this thing. I found it. I can't
And
believe
then when
it.
you realize the
Front of the
heat's not
church.
on. I took a
I found
bike.
this fucking thing. Look at it.
I was going to Dana Hills High School when I lived out in California, and I used to walk home, and I didn't want to fucking walk, so I went to the bike rack and just grabbed the bike. And I rode the bike, and I stashed it in the woods, kind of under some shit where we used to go with the horses. And as we were going through one day, I went, "Hey, wait a minute, what's that?" And I go, "Holy shit, a bike! I found a bike!" And my father goes, "All right, we got to call the police so they could take it down to the police station to see if it was stolen."
No, Dad.
So I'm like, I was like, "Oh, yeah,
yeah, let's do that.
They took it down there. The cops told me if it's not claimed in 3 months, it's mine.
3 months.
And 3 months later, no one claimed it, so it was mine.
I felt bad about the church thing, you know, but then again, the whole reason I did it was because the priest was like hitting on my mom, you know.
Jesus.
At least he wasn't hitting on you.
That was
Exactly. Yeah, it
Worse.
could have been worse. Then I would have burnt the place to the ground. with him in it. Okay? I had to wait until he was in there doing his spiel and set the whole fucking place on fire. And burnt that motherfucker up with the whole place. Okay. It was bad enough he was hitting on my mom, okay? We're out there singing the hymns and he's hitting on my mom. Okay, you fuck. Guess what I'm going to do later today? I'm going to rip off your youth lounge, okay? I'm taking your stereo system, you freak.
So it was completely
Freak
justified.
motherfucker.
On your mom.
Yeah, come on, you know,
That's
it's my
not
mom.
right,
What's he
man.
doing? He's supposed to be a man of God. He's like hitting on my mom.
That is not right.
Jesus Christ. You know? Come on, man. I'm glad I stole that goddamn thing.
Is he the most intimidating guy we've
That's
ever
it.
had on the show?
I love him. Jesus Christ.
Top of the list. Most
just-
intimidating guy right here, man.
Open and honest.
No shit.
I'm a dad with 6 kids, and I'm really, I play dangerous people, but I'm,
I actually saw an interview with you where they
Yeah.
showed your house in Malibu and your kids, and
Yeah.
you were just this nice, peaceful guy. Almost like it was almost.
Well, he
'cause
writes
you-
poetry, right?
Yeah, well, you,
Do a little
not
poetry.
lately.
Lately.
I kind of got over that. It was fun for a while. I wrote a lot of stuff, and then finally one day I just figured that's it. I got nothing else to say. I mean, I wrote
words.
a couple of books, and that's it. You know, I really don't repeat myself. The leaves were blowing across the driveway. Frank Sinatra's dead. You know, what am I gonna do now? You know, I'll have another shot of whiskey. I'll light a lucky strike and take a walk in the rain. You know, thinking about Frank. You know, it's like, oh Jesus, Michael, God.
What the hell are you writing about?
It was fun while it lasted.
that was actually kind of good.
Oh, it's in there. You got to get
Conjured
the
up
book.
an image. It really did.
It's available. He's got an actual book
Yeah,
out. It's
Frank
on
Sinatra's
Amazon.com. Yeah.
Yeah.
Conjures up an image. Do you you drink or give that up?
You know, once upon a time, when I was younger, that was definitely the thing to do. I mean, I think I probably, well, sure. I mean, I never lost my mind, but sure, yeah. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, it's you got to know when to say when, and you have to wait till you have to wait till after work. Put it that way.
Oh, did you ever on the job? You ever drink on the job?
No, it's kind of dangerous, especially if you have to jump out of a Hummer onto the flatbed truck, or you got to fall through a plate glass table, or you're shooting off guns. You know, you better be careful, and you
Yeah.
can't be hammered. You know, that's how accidents happen.
Yeah. Who the hell is that one guy? It happens every so often.
Yeah.
Oh, John Eric Hexum.
Yeah,
That's his
that's a
name?
perfect example.
Yeah, he had a blank gun. He put it against his temple and pulls the trigger, and you're still getting the same force coming out of the barrel, and the thing put a piece of bone right through his brain.
Yeah,
What the
that's very,
hell are you doing? It's
yeah,
a gun,
yeah.
you idiot.
A movie set can be a dangerous place. You got to be careful. You got to know what you're doing.
Yeah, you handle a lot. Do you shoot guns at all? Real life?
I got a Winchester pump. I got a 12-gauge shotgun.
Home security.
Keep talking. You're making Anthony hard.
I love that shit.
Yeah, it's a nice gun. A Winchester pump, yeah.
Look at Anthony.
The gun actually used to belong to Steve McQueen.
Oh, wow.
It's the one that he used in The Getaway. You know, when he goes in the gun shop and he gets the shotgun, he takes the shells, he puts them in his pocket, he wraps it up in paper, and he goes outside and he tells the cops to lay down in the street, and he starts blasting the squad car in slow motion.
Sam Peckinpah.
He kept that gun, and he really liked that one. And years later, I became friends with his son, Chad, and me and Chad were hammered one night. It was my birthday, and I was over at Chad's, and he knew that I was a big fan of that picture. And he gave me the shotgun. He gave me Steve's shotgun. So
that's a fucking present. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it kind of was. That's a nice thing to have around the house.
There's a guy whose like career transcends time. There are people now that are huge McQueen fans that weren't even alive when he died.
Steve was much too young to go away, but God, what he left behind.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
Great movies.
Yeah, well, there was a different time, and there was a different kind of directors back then, and there was a whole different mindset.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think I was born in the wrong era.
Yeah. A little earlier would have been a little better.
Yeah. I mean, the guys like Peckinpah and some of those cats, you know, they're making some pretty good pictures
That was
nowadays.
some sick shit, Peckinpah, man. It's like, yeah, this isn't graphic enough. Let me slow it down and just see shit flying out of their backs. And
He's up in the crane with a tumbler of vodka, you know. A bar on the set. Those were the days, right?
Yeah, well.
made some great movies, yeah.
Yeah, he sure did. I know his godson, Joseph Culp. He's Robert Culp's son.
Oh, yeah?
Told me some good Peckinpah stories, yeah. He told me that when they did, when they were doing Wild Bunch, that at a lunch break, Ben Johnson and Bill and I guess they took some chickens and they buried them in the ground with only the head sticking out on top of the dirt.
Jesus.
And then they were all get back with their rifles and they were going to take a target shot and see who could blow their heads off. But the chickens, once they're buried in the ground, they go like they fall asleep. Their heads just go like this, like they're dead. And they just fall asleep, and they're like, "Oh man, this ain't gonna be no fun. We're gonna pop their heads off, but they're sleeping. You know, this isn't right, right?"
That isn't right.
And so apparently,
if they're up clucking, that's perfectly fine.
yeah,
But sleeping,
yeah.
that's not right.
So apparently, Mr.
Jesus
Peckinpah,
Christ.
apparently Sam Peckinpah, apparently him, or maybe it was Warren Oates, one of the two of them apparently went over to the sleeping chickens and squirted Zippo lighter fluid on all their heads.
Oh my God.
It woke them up, yeah. And they were awake then, man. And then, I guess then the shooting began. So the target practice commenced after that. So. Then they had to put them out of their misery. Then it was humane. To do
Right,
it.
of course, of
Jesus,
course.
their eyes are stinging fire. You know.
Boy, it
the
certainly
one on the
was a
left.
different time. Yeah. Was the
Boy, boy.
Humane Society person on set that day? Or?
No, I don't think those folks were around back
Yeah,
then.
probably not.
My God.
Wow. How many goddamn stories must you have? Holy shit.
Write a book.
We'd be here for a long time.
Yeah, yeah.
We're supposed to be talking about boarding gate.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, wow.
The movie was. The half of the movie that I saw was.
All right, you saw half the movie. Don't make it sound
Did you
like
see it?
The half that I'm
No,
Did you
I got
see
it in my pocket right now.
I saw it, so shut
I got
your
a
face.
screener
I'm
copy.
not in the other half, so it's
Michael,
fine.
we like to
I'm talking about the half he was in.
we like to be prepared for these interviews, obviously. And Roland, he didn't do the job. He hands out these movies on Valentine's Day, and we all got girls that.
Well, and he also handed out a movie that was broken. So halfway through,
He calls me. He goes, "I want to deliver the movie because you got Michael Madsen coming in tomorrow." I'm like, "Dude, I'm going to dinner in a half hour."
I got
So
a
I
good-
apologize, but the synopsis, it's a story about a sexy ex-prostitute who's forced to flee London after a steamy S&M encounter. You saw that, right, Bob? That part?
Yeah, there's a couple
With the debt-ridden
steamy.
ex-lover. It ends in violence. That's Madsen playing the ex-lover. She flees to Hong Kong and becomes involved with a couple who promise to help her get her papers and money, but nothing turns out the way it was supposed to, and the ex-prostitute ends up trapped in a sordid game of manipulation.
You don't sound like the trailer guy.
Wow.
No, I don't.
That's heavy, man.
It's the sexiest sex.
It sounds like a movie I would enjoy.
Sexy.
And you review your own movies, right?
Directed by Olivia Assayas, who's a great guy.
Great director.
Great director, yeah.
One of my favorite scenes is when you're eating your food and she's trying to fuck with him, and he takes a tomato and just sticks it in her face. And she slaps it out of his hand. But you know it wasn't in the script. She's talking, and you know she's annoying him. He takes a tomato and just sticks it in her face. It's like, what?
Oh, well, you've done that before. What guy hasn't done that?
Just mush a tomato in her face, and he just starts laughing, and she's angry. You know, as an actor, she really was pissed. Like, what are you fucking doing? And he's like, his little his laugh he does. He's like, that right there.
She's a wonderful girl. I really liked working with her. I wish we would have had more stuff to do together. I mean, she's a great little girl. She's
how great is it when
we'd be great together in another film. I hope somebody finds a script for us.
How great is it when he does laugh in some of these movies?
Dude,
maniacal.
That's what I'm saying, dude. The scariest part about him is when he's laughing.
Right.
That's when you're scared of him.
Yeah, that's when
he starts laughing. You're like, oh shit, I pissed him off.
Sure.
And can I ask you a question though? Doing a scene with that, like regular sex scenes in these movies, you can tell it's choreographed and everything. But this looked really improv. What you guys were doing, because like. I mean, did you get turned? I mean, she's smoking. Did you get? I mean,
the first time I seen her, she was sitting in a window, and I was walking by this little courtyard in Paris, and I seen her sitting there. And I had a peach in my hand, and so I give her the peach through the window, and I went on the set. And then when I got there, I was waiting for her to come in. She comes in, and she's got a fist like this. And well, what's she gonna do now? And she goes like this, and she opens up her hand, and she got the pit in her hand, you know? I mean, she ate the whole fucking thing. And I realized she's holding a can of beer with a napkin around it, and she got a straw in it. And I said, listen, I really like this girl. You know? I mean, it was a great introduction, you know what I mean? There's a lot to be said for that first impression thing.
Sure.
And there was a lot of things in the script that just said, you know, they begin to do this and they simultaneously climax and all these kind of things where they write this kind of stuff, but the writer doesn't really realize that you actually have to do that. And so I think she was game enough to just, you know, and Olivia was game enough to just run the camera. And if I just know what my parameters of the room are, where I can go out of frame and in frame, I think it's always better to just kind of make it up as you go, and that's what we did.
Yeah, you could tell, man. He. There's one point where she says you're staying, and you know that. And she's like, he goes, say yes. She goes, yes. And he goes, and I'm putting handcuffs on you, and I'm fucking you. and she goes, yes. My dick filled up, and I'm trying to hide it from my wife because I don't want her to know that I want to tie some bitch up and make her my slave, and then slap tomatoes in her face.
You remember when Jimmy Cagney put that grapefruit in that?
Oh, classic. Yeah.
I mean, come on. He
classic.
did it before I did.
Just smushed. Smushed that thing right in her face.
Nothing better than mushing something in a chick's face. So much better than hitting her.
Food, yeah. Same thing. What, you hungry here?
Stick her face in a bowl of porridge.
Eat this. Come on, eat it. Do it now.
Oh, Christ.
Eat this fucking thing, too.
I hate to say it, but we're getting the wrap-up song.
Running out of time. I hate this.
Guys, listen, thanks a lot for having me.
Please.
I really appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
I love New York City. It's cool to be here.
Can we have your number? Like when we're having a slow show, we'll just call you and
call
you
you
tell
up,
a story.
Man. Jesus
sorry,
Christ.
I can't do that.
His opinion of the show hasn't changed.
I'll be at Quentin's.
What an
Trying
asshole.
to get a job.
What an asshole.
Trying to get a job.
You fit in perfect with this fucking show.
love it.
Maybe
You
I
have
should.
no idea.
Maybe I have future employment in radio.
Yeah,
I think you do,
Listen,
man.
if the movies don't work out with me, I'll be back.
Yeah.
You guys are a lot of fun.
We'll have Roland get in touch, and
Yeah,
that way you
sure.
could give us a quick call or something when it comes out.
And of
You
course,
guys are a lot
Michael,
of fun, man. Thank
Michael,
you.
MichaelMadsen.com. And someone was telling me you review your own movies. That's got to be weird.
I kind of figured I had to make an excuse for some of the crap I've put out there. There's a lot of stuff in there that, I figured I needed to explain myself. And I don't want anybody to think that I'm thinking it's all wonderful.
Like which one?
I think I made about 74 pictures.
What? You make
I
your
think
own.
there's about 15 of them that are really good. And I think there's probably about 25 that are okay. And nobody ever lost any money on me, but some of them I did to pay the mortgage, you know.
Wait a minute. Is this you suggesting what to see and what not to see of your own movies?
Yeah.
Wait, go up. You got to go to michaelmadsen.com. This is amazing.
That was a while ago.
He recommends movies. Recommend, if you can find it, movies. Watchable movies. Are these all movies you're in, or just movies in general?
No, they're the ones I'm in. Yeah.
Watchable. You're in Choke?
Yeah, I did that with Dennis Hopper.
That's based on the Polynuk?
No, they stole the title from us. I did the original Choke.
Okay.
Yeah, with Dennis.
And then Watchable, and then it gets down to Skip It. His own movies, he's telling you to skip it. And then he goes down to Unwatchable. Holy shit. And he lists the ones that are just completely unwatchable, and then Can't Rate, Never Seen It. So there's some you've never even seen that you've been in the movie. You've never seen it. You got a category. Can't Rate, Never Seen It.
Have you ever seen a more honest fucking actor?
Holy
Jesus Christ.
shit. No wonder you're not getting work in the United States.
Exactly. You see how that shit works?
How about you don't burn a bridge?
Yeah, I'm going to hire him. No fucking way. He's an indie guy. Yeah. Okay, man.
Here's an example. You gotta go to his website. It's better than this interview. Flat Out, which is one of the movies. Was it a movie? I don't even know.
That was a picture.
It's in the section Can't Rate, Never Seen It. And this is a one line he gives for Flat Out. Interesting film about a paralyzed motorcycle race shot in 2 days as a favor to the producer. It's like helping someone move.
That's kind of exactly
I'll make a
what
movie.
it was. Yeah.
It's like either move a couch or make a movie for 2 days.
If I hadn't have done it, I would have had to move. It was time to pay the rent, man. You know.
That is hilarious. Wow.
This has been the Decade of Dominance All Request Show. Call in to request your favorite moment for future shows. 1-866-385-4631. And listen whenever you want at SiriusXM.com/on-demand or on the SiriusXM app.